Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode, I will be doing a review on a Sony voice digital recorder model number ICD-AX412, so please stay tuned. You're probably wondering why I got this recorder, since I've already bought this Blue Yeti to really improve my voice quality and sound quality on my videos. Well, that doesn't do me any good when I don't have a computer to tether this USB mic to. So if I'm on location, let's say at the shooting range, which I really need to get out there and do some shooting videos for you guys, because I am I'm in that category of gun channels, and I haven't done a gun video for who knows how long. But I need something to be able to do the voice a lot better than this camera, especially when I'm far away from the camera, just like I am now doing with this mic. I need something that I could use on location, so I figured to find a voice recorder. Now, I had a couple of prerequisites before choosing this one. I wanted something that was stereo, which this is. It has two mics. And I wanted something with a speaker so I could go ahead and make sure it recorded what I said before I considered it a take and move on to the next scene. And, of course, I wanted it to be electronic, digital in nature. And, really that was all I was looking for. I do like fancy screens, so it had a big LCD screen. And we'll get into the specifics here in a moment. But I just wanted you to understand what I was really looking for. So this met my prerequisites, and I've always liked Sony products, and it seemed to be in the sweet spot of money. And we'll talk about the price too, but the manufacturer's retail price of this is $79, but you could, I'll tell you what the price is now. You could probably find it on Amazon for about $65. This is the packaging. I already took it out because I already tried it out. It also comes with this fuzzy case. Nothing to write home about. It's just a thin little case with some strings that you tie up. Nothing fancy at all. It's like velvet, but it's thin. It's like a snuggie for your recorder. They also give you a cable. This looks like a mini USB to USB, not a micro. It looks like a mini, which is a little bit bigger than a micro. And you could use that to plug in, to your computer, and then you just download the MP3s right off here. It saves it in MP3 format, which is a good standard format. You can also put SD cards, or they also say M2, which is probably Sony's proprietary memory stick, this very small version. So you could use, I'm sorry, not SD card, but it's like the little SD cards that you put into your cell phone. It uses those, or the M2, which is Sony's equivalent to that little thing. So you just put it in there. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at this and go over some of the specifications before we try it out. Now, I'm not going to get into an enormous amount of detail on this because I am not really an expert when it comes to audio devices, but I could go over it briefly with you because I know that some of you are interested in improving your audio of your videos, or you might also be interested in doing podcasts like a certain subscriber that I subscribe to and he subscribes to me wants to do, and he knows who I'm talking about. So that's sort of a another motive because I want him to do a podcast. I'll try to help him with his choices. But let's go ahead and go over all the different pieces here real quick. You have your play button so you can play back and you can listen to it on the speaker, or you have a headset here, plug, 3.5-inch plug. You put your stereo headset in right there, the green. You also could put a microphone and like an external microphone there in case you don't want to use the mics that are built in. You have a little speed. So I guess you could play back the speed a little bit faster or slower, and that's your record button. And this moves forward and back between different tracks, and you could save the tracks in folders and things like that. And your stop button and your T mark, so you could sort of mark certain spots in the recording so you could find them later. You have an erase button, so if you don't like what you just recorded, you can just erase it. You have a volume control rocker. You have a speed control here, and this A-B button, I gotta look that one up because I don't know what it is. It's a repeat button, and you have a noise cancellation feature here called Noise Cut, which is optimized for voice. On the other side, you have a hold and power on off, so you just pull this back and it turns on. You pull it back and hold it, it turns it off. If you press it forward and you get that hold, it makes it so that the buttons work. Here you have a your USB connector. That's a mini USB that you can go ahead and plug that in, and then plug it into your computer. And then here is where you put your cards. So you go ahead and put your mini SD card in there, or the Sony's M2. This utilizes two AAA batteries. So you just put them in the compartment right there, and you put the tops down with the positive side on both down. You can buy some rechargeables, and then buy a adapter that you plug it to actually the mic here. It says plug in power, and it charges them right inside if you want to go ahead and do that. I'm not going to do it. If I go rechargeables, I'll just recharge my batteries or my charger, and then I'll put those in here. So let's go ahead and start this up and see what the display looks like. So I'm going to hold back that power switch, and then you can see it come up. So for my next scene, I'm going to go ahead and utilize this so you could hear the difference in the audio. So it probably is not going to sound as good as the Blue Yeti, but it's going to sound better than the camera. So I'll let you hear how it compares to the camera, so you know you're probably getting better audio than what most cameras will give you. So now you're listening to me through the camera. I'm going to go ahead and hit the record button on here. Let you see that. So now we're recording, and now you're hearing me through this Sony voice recorder, digital recorder. Again, just so you know, the model number is ICD-AX412. Now the real advantage of this is that you don't have to be up on your camera with a normal voice, or as you move back, you would have to be yelling across the room for the camera's mic to pick up. Instead, it's right here in your head. You could keep a normal voice, which is usually more preferable for you good viewers and subscribers and friends out there. So I could use this outside. Now I do see a problem with this in that it doesn't have the little wind guards, little foamy things, but might be able to put something on there and take care of that. So, but it might not be that good in a windy environment. But let me know how this sounds to you. Again, it's stereo, so I could go to the left and I could go to the right. So it keeps it real, keeps it sounding good. And again, I'm going to go ahead and hit stop. And this can hold 2 gigs, but you can put cards in there so it can hold a lot more. One other thing is the bit rate, or the sampling rate of this thing. It goes up to 192 kilobytes. You can drop it down to 128, and you have all these different modes where you have dictation mode, or you have conference room mode, and it has all these things which I'm probably never going to use. I just want to basically do what I'm doing with the Blue Yeti, have that same capability out in the field where I can have a decent microphone up close to me, so I don't have to yell, especially when I'm not right, or when I'm not right on top of the camera. I really like the way the record and play buttons light up. I got this light so bright it'll barely show up on the camera. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. One other thing I wanted to show you was this has a little door here on the back. It's not really a door, it's just feet to stand up, so you could do this. So you could sort of have it just sort of sitting there propped up just a little bit, so you could talk while you're doing other things, or if you're in the middle of a conference room and you put it into conference mode, and you could just sit it out there at the table and, you know, let it do its thing. One other thing is that the headphone jack, you can plug in your headset and do a live monitor, just like I do when I use my Blue Yeti. So if you like to do a live monitor kind of thing, you can do that. Alright, well, now I have a solution for when I get out there at the range, so I better start getting out to the range. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really appreciate every friend, viewer, and subscriber out there, and I will see you next week on Tuesday. Have a good one. Bye.